Pen testing is a pretty critical routine that you would perform prior to go live, and the intention of pen testing or penetration testing is to discover all the ways that attackers might compromise your application. So it's a very prescriptive process where essentially someone tries to attack your application. So you can think of this person as like a white hat hacker, tries to perform a variety of attacks against your application and sees what actually makes it through. The goal is to kind of identify those vulnerabilities that are out there. For example, if there are places where an attacker might be able to upload and then execute a file, that's a very big deal for the launched application. So you're trying to identify that sort of a vulnerability in advance prior to launch. The outcome of pen testing is going to be a list of all the ways that your application might have security vulnerabilities. When we talk about vulnerabilities, there are all sorts of different levels of vulnerability depending on what matters to your application. So ideally, the pen test would be tailored to the type of application that you have and the exposure level, your risk exposure level that you can tolerate. If you have a website that uses Drupal and it's hosted on the Apache server technology, what you would typically find in a pen test might include a result that says that your website exposes the fact that it is a Drupal website and even may expose the Drupal version. That may or may not be a problem for you. You can choose to address that or not as you choose. And again, if you're running extremely secure application where that would matter, then you would act to address those findings. So that's kind of an example of like a very low level finding that most people probably wouldn't worry about. But you can also find things like applications have known vulnerabilities that have been openly released in the public in the past. For example, Drupal has had vulnerability in the past it was nicknamed Drupalgeddon, which essentially allowed an attacker to submit requests to your site and have it execute code, which of course compromises your entire database, anything on your file system, and potentially even the machine itself.